Welcome to Riverwell, Holler. I'm Miss Lori, and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old ways, but accept some of the new. We love to cook, and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. So stay with us. We're going to be making some peach sherbet, some strawberry lemonade, and you know Southern cooking makes you good looking. Well, it's summertime, and it is getting hot in our area. Yes, Miss Lori is sporting a new hairdo, and it is short. And let me tell you something, it feels wonderful. I work outside probably more than I do inside, if not probably equal. And I get so hot, but this time of year, I tend to go a little bit shorter. So, in fact, in my younger days of a farm life, when I was raising kids and cattle and hogs and horses, Miss Lori always had a short haircut because I didn't have time for anything else. But anyways, I'm so glad that y'all stay with us here at Riverwell Holler. Stay with us and watch our recipes and our everyday life and put up with all my different haircuts. But anyways, today we're going to be making a peach sherbet. It's going to be easy and it's going to be so refreshing for these hot days. And I had requests for my strawberry lemonade, so we're going to be making that too. So let's get started and let's make something really refreshing. We're going to start out with 6 to 8 peaches that we've washed, and now we're just going to peel them. And peaches they're pretty easy to peel. It don't take long to peel them. And I'm just going to slice them up. This is a white aspen peach, and these are really sweet peaches. They're not easy to find, but I happen to just find these at our local Walmart, and I really like this kind. We do have Campbell, Missouri peaches coming off right now, so I'm just going to cut these up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on my mat. I've got a mat that I freeze fruit and vegetables on before I put them in the freezer. And what we're going to do is flash freeze them. And what that means is to put them in the freezer uncovered and just leave them in there for about an hour where they'll get good and frozen before you either bag them up or before you use them. So here you see I've got them on my mat, and we're going to put them out in the freezer. Probably about an hour, and then we'll start our sherbet. So we've got them out of the freezer. They're good and frozen. And you can double this recipe. I'm just making enough for us to have a couple bowls this week. Now, some of your peaches are going to be sweeter than others. So when you go to put your sugar in, I'm going to put a little over half a cup. Usually half a cup is plenty. If your peaches are real tart, not real sweet, you might want to put a little bit more sugar. You need to taste it as you go. And I put about a tablespoon of freshly squeezed orange juice. And I've got a new blender here, so I'm trying to figure this thing out. So y'all just have to be patient with me. But I'm going to turn it on. And you can see how ice cold frozen the peaches are. You can see how it's blending up. And I'm just kind of pulsing it. And you can do this with any blender. I put another tablespoon of orange juice in there. And I'm just going to keep trying to blend this up if I can get my blender to work. I'm trying to put it on smoothie, and I'm not getting it done. But anyways, I've got it pulsed pretty good. Now I'm going to put a good 1/4 of a cup of cream. Just heavy cream. Now if you don't have cream, you can use regular milk, but just be careful how much you put in there. And blend it up good. And you can see the consistency. It's getting creamier now. So this is about where I want it. A sherbet's going to be between a sorbet and an ice cream. That's the texture that you're going to want. So I'm going to get a container and we're going to put our sherbet in there. We've got our sherbet, our peach sherbet in my container, and this is just a freezer container. And you see the consistency of it, and you can eat this right now if you want to. It's good and creamy. Or you can go ahead and put it in the freezer and go ahead and freeze it for a few hours. Now, the longer you freeze it, it's going to get, it's not going to stay real creamy like ice cream. It's going to get a little bit harder, but it's still going to be really good. And it's such a good, just a good refreshing dessert to have during these hot months. And you've made it yourself. There's not a bunch of yucky ingredients in it. So I'm going to find my lid. We're going to put a lid on it. We're going to put it in the freezer for a little bit. And maybe Mr. Brown will eat a bite when it gets in. You can make this with any fruit, really. And we'll talk about that. I'll show you. You can use pineapples. You can use cantaloupes. You can even use watermelon and blueberries. You can use raspberries. You just flash freeze them just like I done the peaches. And you just do it the same way. Okay, now I'm going to share my strawberry lemonade recipe with you. And we're going to start out with just a simple syrup, which is a cup of water and a cup of sugar. And we're just going to stir this up good, and we're going to heat it until your sugar is dissolved. And you'll know it is because it'll be clear. And then we'll take it off the heat and we'll let it cool. And I want to thank Miss Jenny for sending me this wonderful juicer. It is amazing. You can get a cup of lemon juice pretty quick, and it's going to really help my arthritic hands too. So thank you, Miss Jenny, for sending this to me. I appreciate it so much. This is going to be really a good thing to have, not just for lemons, but for juicing oranges, for fresh orange juice. Okay, now we're going to start out with my blender, and we're going to put in about a pint of strawberries. Now I can tell you these strawberries were not very sweet. So when you pick your fruit like this, you may have to either add a little more sugar or take away a little sugar from the recipe. You need to always just put a little and then taste it. So I'll put a pint of strawberries. I'm going to put a half a cup of water before I try to blend them. And if you want to, you can add you a little bit of sugar to them strawberries if they're not sweet. I'm going to get my lid on here, and then we're going to puree the strawberries. You want to make sure you puree them really smooth because you don't want chunks in your lemonade. So just blend them up real good and scrape down the sides and then blend them again till you get a really good smooth consistency. And you want to taste it. And if it just doesn't taste sweet enough, like I said, add you a little bit of sugar to it, or you can add a little honey to it, or any kind of sugar substitute that you might be using, because any of it will work. I have put honey in my sherbets and even some of my homemade ice cream, and it always turns out good. I'm going to add my simple syrup. And that was 1 cup of water and 1 cup of sugar. Then we're going to add our 1 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. And we're going to put 4 cups of cold water. Now this does make quite a full blender full. So if you're wanting to double this, you'll have to probably make it twice. So we're just going to pulse this and stir it up good to get all that blended up good. And then we're going to pour it in our container and we're going to serve it. It makes a beautiful presentation when you put your lemons and some oranges and strawberries in there with your lemonade. It's really good. It's a refreshing, good summer drink. And I hope y'all try it. I want to show y'all. I'm just being a little patriotic through June and July. That's the only time I can really get my patriotic stuff out. But this is a tablecloth I got at Home Goods, and I got these placemats at Home Goods too. And I just really love them, the shape of a star. And I've got bandanas for my napkins, and of course I just got some little red tulips and my little can and my little rooster. I just love the fact that June and July I can use my red, white, and blue. And here even my old fireplace mantle is sporting some red, white, and blue too. So I hope y'all like these recipes, guys. And y'all, I hope y'all have had a good weekend, and I hope y'all have a beautiful week. God loves you. God bless. And we love you too.